黒間から目指しようか。気づけばもうすでに喫茶のファーもうそれもなくほらその手の欄かざして前を上のラン
咲かせ青いの花見よに舞い散れ今宵もただ天下の舞台は我らがそのもの乱れ巡る血のまま月をいざない西の方女が狂し雪をの矢挟ま大江と放浪せいやこっそら水も前も苦いのまでも正気上にこの望みも少し不条理をそれるようになった僕の名護脱がさかまつぎは男も堪能冷えてものこのほふるもさだけが歩けるこの道はおすずろうかどこの間の値段その差し金はまます罪の重さを自分の目で確かめな
冗談よ表現に遠ざかるもどかしい言葉は低気圧のせいだ覗き込んでみたって鏡は鏡水たまり一人ごとだよこだまして反射してふとした瞬間にときめいて平然の敵と思うほどうまくできそうにない悲しいほどにやまない雨はないなんて君なくていいよあさっての方向ね思惑なんてさ体験されてしまうものだけど祈ってしまうの君も同じ風に思ってるとしたらそれは素敵なことだろうけど絶対 止まない雨はないなんて君は言う雲間が覗いて白く光るもうちょっとだけでいいからそばにいてパステラにじませてしまったのは曖昧な今がただ愛しいから聞かないで本当のとこなんて言うまでもないよ冗談よ表現に遠ざかるもどかしい言葉は低気圧のせいだ覗き込んでみたって鏡は鏡水たまに独り言だよこらまして反射してふとした瞬間にときめいて平然の敵と思うほどうまくできそうにない悲しいほどにやまない雨はないなんて君なくていいよ朝手の方向ね思惑なんてさ大抵それてしまうものだけど祈ってしまうの君も同じ風に思ってるとしたらそれは素敵なことだろうけどその口元を今塞げたらけど叶わない運命のいたずらなんてもう
Alright, good evening everyone and welcome back to the 5-digit States Cup. We have a lot of matches going on tonight, 5 to be exact, 1 right in front of you, 3 more in an hour at 1 UTC, and then 1 more to round off at 2 UTC. I will be your host for this match. I am Bless KM, bringing you Illinois B versus Georgia B. We are back after a 4-hour or so break after another match we had earlier in the day. And we're back with some more minor league action. So Illinois versus Georgia B. Illinois, seed 10 this year, a small improvement from last year, and they did have quite a nice run in the lower bracket, making it all the way into almost into finals. The second round of semifinals in losers bracket, only losing out to SoCal. And Georgia be looking a little worse for year as they don't even have enough players for a C team, but they do have a lot of returning players nonetheless, enough to fill out a full roster, and they're going to be hoping to put a dent in this Illinois roster. Some players to look out for. We have Big Betty Bryant on Georgia, all-rounder. He did take a break going down to C team last year, but he is back on B team and he is going to be playing a lot of maps. Some other returning B team players are Aoyin, some familiar names, Azalium and Arui, another C team promotion. Playing with Big Betty Bryant last year and moving up this year alongside of him. On side of Illinois, some players to look out for. Probably going to be Zav's a really good tapping player, almost a 99, about a 99 FC on the Nomad 2 in quals, as well as a FC on the DT2. So incredibly good tapping prowess. And they do seem to have a decent amount of support to back that up. Namely, Kizaria going to be one of the big tapping players. to support them. But for now, we are into the roles and the pick bands. The first band is going to be coming from Georgia on the DT3. So getting some high AR out of there. It's not super clear if what exactly these teams are super good at in terms of just looking at their players. Illinois overall has some pretty nice placements across the board, of course, being seed 10. That is naturally going to happen, and a nice solid number 8 placing on the DT3 in quals. Of course, the DT3 quite similar to what we have this year, and then contrasting with Georgia B actually looking to have a bit of a high AR weakness. Not something you would expect immediately just from looking at these players, but yeah, really struggling down there at 30th on the slot. But unfortunate for them. Now, the 10th seed up against the 23rd seed. The 10th seed being Illinois up against 23 of Georgia. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, as in minor league, a lot of these middle seeds are pretty close. But once you get past a certain point around 18 or 19 or so, that's when you really start to see a big drop-off. And you can even see that on the averages, where there's a bunch of teams that are pretty close up until around seed 18 or so, Texas C, with around a 1.3 million average team score, and then it drops 100K all the way down to 1.2 million with the 19th seed of Pennsylvania. So once we do get to this big of a gap in seed, we've seen a lot of close matchups so far, namely Maryland versus Texas and Colorado versus Ohio. Those ended up being pretty close affairs, but perhaps this is a matchup where we will see a little bit more proper dominance from the higher seed. We do have all the rest of the bands already having happened, and the first pick of the map, of the match as well, it's going to be DT2 and Hard Rock 2. So I stand corrected about the tapping for Illinois. Zav's not quite having the proper support, as is looking at their team score. I think they were missing a really solid third player for that. They do have 2 million team score on the map, but given that Zavs is taking up around half of that, yeah, it's not looking so great for the supporting scores. And then the Hard Rock 2 and the Nomad 3. The Nomad 3 band making a lot of sense, as Georgia did struggle a lot on that map in the qualifiers. But we do have the easy first as the first pick. It's going to be some reading to start us off. And we do already have the rosters in the lobby. Idiot Stick, Maybe a Ghost, and Gesu up against Big Betty Bryant, Zalium, and Arui. Idiot Stick playing 10 out of the 12 maps for Illinois in qualifiers. So going to be expecting to see them in for a lot during the match as well. We are getting into the map right here, a minute 42 seconds of just some simple structural reading. As long as you've been listening to the song and you've practiced the map, you should have a small idea of what is going on with the rhythm here. And so far, no early breaks on either side, no early disasters. We're looking pretty comfortable on both sides. But of course, as the song does go on, the rhythm does get a little bit more dense. Both sides doing a really good job of staying on top of that increased density, however. Nobody breaking combo yet, and we're already halfway through the map. Oh, but there go the first breaks on some of those overlaps. Idiot Stick and Azalian gonna be trading out. Here we go into the big build up into the final section of the song. It is an AC advantage. 2 SSs on the side of Illinois, going to be resulting in around 60k score lead for them. And I believe that's Azaleum dropping again, and there goes a Rui as well to follow. It's just Big Baddie Bryant, and I think Illinois have done just about enough as we are already approaching the end of this map here. Ending spinner is gonna mean they're around a 200,000 score lead into the ending, and that is a good first pick from Illinois. Gonna start them off strong, 1-0. Some really incredible accuracies here from maybe a Ghost and Gesu. 1x100 and 4x100 respectively. Maybe a Ghost, notably a practice player, so I can see that they've definitely practiced the map. So looks like they're feeling quite confident on that one. And the pick is going to go over to Georgia B. It is a bit of a question as to how they're going to pick, but in these lower SR scenarios, you typically do want to pick maps where you feel comfortable finding an FC. Now, when you are going up against such a big seed deficit like the one we have here, you do usually see teams, the lower seed teams, picking simple maps like the Nomad 1, the DT1, those kinds of maps in the pool. Hidden 1 is another such simple map like that this week. Just some fairly simple aim mechanics and a couple simple space bursts. Those would be probably some of the harder stuff in the map, but no, we're going to see neither of those. It's going to be a hard rock 1. So some hard rock aim consistency to start Georgia B off. If we can go ahead and see what is going on in that lobby as the players trickle in. Most likely going to be seeing a Big Baddie Bryant perma lobby. B, Georgia B. B is for Big Baddie Bryant. And probably accompanied by Azaleum. Pretty comfortable on the hard rock modification. And I think it's probably between Aceit and Good Job Caleb for the third. But I did hear from a little birdie whispering in my ear that Good Job Caleb might be a little bit washed. So last year they did seem to prefer the hard rocks and no mods, and they were able to fill some of the hiddens. But despite the hard rock being the name of the game for their first pick, if he is that washed, then we might not be seeing him in here. And we do already see Aceit standing in that lobby for Georgia. On the other side of Illinois, we do have Idiot Stick once again looking to see how long they can stay in this lobby for, accompanied this time by Zavs and Gesu. Zavs, their captain and potentially their strongest player. Just in terms of raw skill cap on what they're good at, incredibly good at the tapping. Also did play the Hard Rock 1 in the quals as well as the No Mod 1, so they are proficient enough on the Hard Rock mod as well as general aim mechanics. And we are getting into that. The map, Gesu also pretty strong mechanics player, and does seem to prefer to have a mod of sorts. So yeah, this roster very much so does make sense. And yes, we do see Aceit and Azaleum accompanying. Actually, it's going to be Good Job Caleb. So maybe not as washed as the little birdie has told me. And it's actually going to be Big Baddie Bryant sitting this one out, surprisingly enough. But yeah, we do have some Miku Gaming, Miku. Standard Hard Rock 1 stats, AR10, OD, actually OD 9.8, so not quite fully standard, but it is the standard CS 5.2. Bit of an older map, Val 0108, if I recall correctly. We do have some early breaks being traded back and forth between Zavs and Azaleum. Azaleum being slightly later, but we are into this first Ki section now, and this is where you really want to hold on to that combo. Good job, Caleb. Going to be breaking on the burst, so it's just ACIT to hold on for the side of Georgia, and all the combos are holding for Illinois, but there's still another half of this Ki. Azaleum going to be dropping his combo as well, so it's all down to ACIT. Can they hold on to the combo? They cannot. At the top of the rhombus is where they fall. They fail to climb. And there's actually a C-rank crazy combo game with no combos on the side of Georgia. The C-rank 82% accuracy on ACIT. And dropping that combo is going to be fatal for their score, especially how it was just at the end of that first Ki, smack dab in the middle of the map. It is quite a short one for aim consistency, or not necessarily quite a short one, but a bit on the shorter side. Clocking in at just about 3 minutes, and Illinois, they are looking incredibly comfortable on this. Zav's breaking on some aim again, but just look at the accuracy difference. 97, 96, and 95 on Gesu, Idiot Stick, and Zav's, compared to the 83, 92, and 94 on ACIT, Azaleum, and good job, Caleb. Like, these breaks do not even matter. It is already 800,000 score difference for Illinois, and we're going to be keeping our eyes on Idiot Stick and Gesu. See how long they can hold on to these combos for, see if they can close out the FCs, as Georgia do not look to be having the best of times on this pool. Yeah, that is going to be over 1 million score difference. Over 1.2 million, in fact, as we go into the ending, as Idiot Stick and Gesu will manage to close out the FCs. And that is break point to Illinois. Starting off really strong in this match. Gesu even managing to make it over 1 million score with almost 98 accuracy on that one. And Zavs, Illinois immediately going into the No Mod 5. That was a very quick pick. They did ban out the DT2, leaving some questions on their tapping comfortability, but given how there is about 1 million score difference between their DT2 scores and quals, I think Georgia also has similar issues on the tapping. Yeah, just around 1.08 million team score. I think that might actually be enough for Zav's score to 1v3. And I'm going to check, and yeah, Zavs has a 97.97 FC on Windtails in lobby. That is 1.11 million individual score. So yes, that is just a 1v3. So perhaps discounting Illinois' tapping a little bit too much. The supporting scores for Zavs being Kizaria at around 700k on that one, and then Idiot Stick at not looking the best, just 200k, forced to fill that one. Maybe missing some members for quals as well, although I don't believe they were. So perhaps just a bit of a hole in the team's roster construction, but yeah, not going to be of too much significance in the early stages when they're going into such a difference in seeding. But we do have the players in the lobby. This time it will be maybe a Ghost in place of Idiot Stick as their third man. A practice player, so maybe the practice was enough for them to set a decent score by mashing through the speed here. On the side of Georgia, we do have Big Baddie Bryant, Arui, and a sit. Big Baddie Bryant returning to the lobby. A sit also a pretty decent mechanics player. And Arui, they do play DT speed, so presumably they can also play the Nomad speed as well. But we'll have to see how things pan out. Already finding a couple early misses alongside a sit. Gonna be traded out by Gesu, but we are still in quite early days of this map, as we do have some 240 burst action going on for the next minute and a half or so. It's gonna be A-Sit dropping on some aim there. At the end of the burst, it looked like he just didn't aim for long enough through it. Every tapping player has experienced that, just not fully following through on the burst motion. We do reach the first break with a small 200k advantage for the side of Illinois. Zavs and Maybe a Ghost still holding on to their FCs, and it looks like Maybe a Ghost maybe should have been the one to play the Windtails over Idiot Stick back in Quals. I'm not sure what exactly went on inside that Team VC back then a week ago. But there goes Big Baddie Bryant, the only remaining FC for the side of Georgia. Maybe a Ghost will finally trade it out, finally dropping their FC, leaving Zavs all on their lonesome. It's just Arui to match, but his recovery is being matched by Gesu, as they did break around the same time, and this is already 700k in the hole for Illinois. Looking like another quick and easy third point for them. As Zavs looks to close out a 99% FC. We'll see just how many hundreds she has in the result screen, as she will put this one comfortably away in the bag for her team. That is 7 100s on this map. I do think we're going to be seeing a couple plays with even fewer 100s count, so I don't want to call it yet on the leaderboard placing for that play, as there's some pretty nasty speed players in both major and minor league, but this is definitely one of the plays that's up there, and you'll be looking for that one in the stat sheet. And yeah, Zav's already saying in chat that's her worst accuracy on the map. I mean, what do you expect when this person is getting 99% FC on the Nomad 2 in Quals? All right, well, we do have another pick coming out from Georgia. It's going to be Nomad 1. And Illinois, having won both of their picks and stolen away a break point from Georgia already, they're already sitting up 3-0, so this is quite a precarious situation if we're assuming that Illinois just keeps on winning their own picks. Then this could be the last pick for Georgia if they give this one up. Just some good old Nomad 1 consistency aim. We have seen some good things happen on this map. Thinking back to earlier today, Ohio versus Colorado. A little bit of a mini barn burner there on this Nomad 1 to bring them to tiebreaker. We do have the rosters in the lobby. Zavs, Maybe Ghost, and Idiot Stick. Idiot Stick and Zavs being quite obvious inclusions for this roster. And accompanied by Idiot Stick, who is... Oh no, it's going to be Gesu, actually. The third member, Zavs, Idiot Stick, and Gesu. So yeah, another AIM Mechanics player. Surprisingly not seeing Deswag Turtle. Supposedly an AIM player, but maybe just not enough. Not enough comfort and or just confidence in their ability to come in and FC this. This is low SR, technically 5.8 stars, but we're not quite in FC or die territory for minor league. In fact, I don't think there's really any rounds in minor league that are really FC or die, unless you're one of those really middle seeds like the first two matches we've seen so far. Maryland, Texas, Ohio, and Colorado. And even then, we've seen plenty of failed FCs in those matches. Just the lower skill cap and overall lower level of the players in minor league. But of course, we are in this map already. Georgia, for them, we do have Big Baddie Bryant and good job Caleb, accompanied by Azalium, a familiar trio from last year, I suppose. Big Baddie Bryant and good job Caleb playing together on C Team last year, coming in to put in some more work on B Team this year. They'll be having a good time playing together, and Azalium joining them. Here we are into the first Ki section. Gonna be looking at this little mini reading pattern here. The overlapping sliders not gonna be tripping anyone up, but Azalium does get caught out right after that. Unfortunate. And he's gonna be the only person to break going into this first section. Big Baddie Bryant, not exactly sure what happened with him in the first 10 seconds or so of the map, just missing out on 20, 30 or so combo. I thought those were Bancho misses, but it turns out that they're just real, as the combo counter is just not restoring to what would be an FC. Caleb drawing a little sussy something on our screen in the smoke during the break. But Illinois looking pretty comfortable here as we go into the Qatar So section. There goes Big Baddie Bryant, actually dropping in that little build-up, following up with another slider break, miss aim. And things are quickly going from bad to worse. Maybe you wanted to be Big Goody Bryant for this one, as the baddiness is going the wrong way for Georgia at the moment. Good job, Caleb. I would say he's definitely not washed, as he is the only one holding the FC for his team at the moment. But actually, never mind me. Gesu and Idiot Stick both dropped at the end of that section. I just totally missed that, and it's just Zavs holding on the FC, but still a 300,000 score lead. And even if Zavs were to drop here, the rest of the combos in the lobby are just too low for anything to happen. And there is some combo density in the ending of this map. But especially with Azalium dropping their recovery at the end, this is all but shut and done for the side of Illinois. And Zavs closing out the FC alongside good job Caleb. A little bit of respite, perhaps, for the side of Georgia. As good job, Caleb, really looking to shut that little birdie up who was insinuating that they're a little washed. Looking quite comfortable on the snow mode one. If that little birdie happens to be a duck, it might be duck hunting season. I actually don't know when duck season is. But I do have the impression that a lot of animals, a lot of animal meat just tastes better in the winter because there's more fat and they've eaten a lot of food in order to prepare for the cold season. So you do get a lot of flavor, especially with the gamier animals like rabbit and duck and deer and those sorts. But that does put Illinois up on match point after 2 consecutive breakpoints and 2 consecutive consolidations, taking every point in convincing fashion so far. And it's going to be a force mod pick for Illinois as they look to close things out. Now, given how the match has been going so far, I do wonder if maybe a Ghost is looking for the easy. They are a practice player, and they did look pretty good on the easy one earlier. So maybe looking for some style points as Illinois looks to close this one off in 5. But I think this map is a little bit difficult on easy. Yes, it's only 2 minutes 48 seconds and it's pretty straightforward mechanics, but the high BPM, 230 BPM, along with what would be AR 4.5 is quite dense. Especially with the circles already being a bit smaller than normal. CS 3.8 going to be going down to 1.9 with the easy mod. So it is a bit of a question on what we'll see here, and I don't think we're going to be seeing that. No, maybe a Ghost in the lobby spotted. It's just Zaz and Idiot Stick continuing what has basically been a perma lobby for the two of them. I think just missing out on the first map, the easy. And Swag Turtle making his first appearance. Aim player finally gets to play some aim. On the side of Georgia, we'll see just how much of a fight they can try and put up here. The Nomad one was one of the closer maps in the match so far, just only a 300k score difference, but the fact that I'm saying only in that sentence says a lot about how this match has been going so far. It's going to be Big Baddie Bryant in once again, accompanied by his good friends Asit and Arui. Arui, not exactly an aim player, but they do play reading, and perhaps the high BPM of this map is leaning towards their DT comfort. And actually, I hadn't mentioned it before, but Big Baddie Bryant busting out the hidden hard rock. I do remember they played a lot of this, especially in the early rounds last year. Every free mod, we would see them on this hidden hard rock preference. And it's a good feeling to see them back on this again. Back on the bike. On your bike. And looking pretty comfortable at that in the early section of this. Angelica, it's going to be 230 BPM, just under 3 minutes at 248. Some AR9 CS 3.8 aim mechanics. Some difficulty for the hidden players on the AR9 230 density. And the Hard Rock players, of course, it's always just a little bit difficult with Hard Rock. All players holding on so far. There's the first mitt coming out from Asit on that wide angle aim. Unfortunate timing to break, as that's right before the end of the first Ki section. Everyone else in the lobby still holding on. As we go into this next build-up section, Big Baddie Bryant still holding on to some really nice accuracy and 95% on the hidden hard rock. But if we're talking about nice accuracy, you're going to want to look at Idiot Stick with a 99% on the hidden. Looking incredibly comfortable. And there goes Big Baddie Bryant on the hidden hard rock. Unfortunate small miss aim at the end of that build-up. And there goes Arui as well, followed up by Asit, and the entire team of Georgia has just collapsed. They did hold on for a bit longer this time, but this map a little bit longer than the other ones we've had so far. Lots of shorter maps, hanging around 2 minutes that we've seen so far, but this one around 3 minutes. There's still an extra minute of gameplay that you have to hold through, and Illinois look to not be letting up anytime soon. Only the Swag Turtle dropping on the hard rock. With Zaz and Idiot Stick still holding on to some incredible accuracy, especially on Idiot Stick. You're still holding on to the 99%. And yeah, things are just going from bad to worse for Georgia with this one. There's more misses coming out from Arui and Big Baddie Bryant. Zaz finally going to be dropping her FC, and actually Idiot Stick shortly before her. So no FCs seen on this map. Unfortunately for Idiot Stick, especially with that accuracy, 99%. Would have been lovely to see that one finished out, but yeah, that is going to be Illinois putting this one away in the bag in a quick 5-0. Seed difference of 10 to 23, just a bit too large to overcome for Georgia. Not even able to put so much of a scratch in this Illinois roster. And that will be a comfortable succession on to the next round. Round of 16, upper bracket. Congratulations to Illinois. And Georgia, of course, will be moving down to that lower bracket, seeing how much of a run they can make there. But Illinois looking to start off strong once again this year. They had a pretty good run into quarterfinals until they met that oh-so-strong New Jersey roster and got slapped down into the lower bracket. We'll see just how far they can make it this year. Maybe make it past quarterfinals. But that is what we are yet to see in the coming weeks. As for their next opponent, they will be facing the winner of, I believe, New Jersey B and Connecticut B. So yeah, maybe a little bit of an early rematch with New Jersey if things develop in how we expect, in the way we expect them to. I'm gonna be looking forward to that in the next round. But for now, that'll be all from me. I've been blessed. See you back here in 30 minutes. We have 3 matches coming up, by the way. 3. A stream, B stream, and C stream. It's some prime time multi-stream time. Yeah, get that multi-twitch up there. A stream, B stream, C stream, all happening at 1 UTC. We have a lot of matches. It's going to be Pennsylvania A versus Colorado A on the B stream, in fact. Because on the A stream, we have a bigger matchup. North Carolina A versus Oregon A. I will see you guys there in just under 30 minutes. And then on the C stream, it's going to be Maryland B versus Texas C. Actually, I think I'm going to be on that one. So yeah, if you want to hear my voice, catch the C stream for some more minor league action. But of course, we do have the big dogs duking it out in the Major League on the A and B streams as well, in case you want to watch that. But yeah, that's all for now. See you back here in a little under 30 minutes. Bye-bye.
「愛しのみさじり